Oh, February.
Sounded like an old man on that one. I know I get migraines a lot, but it hasn't been as bad as this month in a while. I had 11 days of active attacks, and even more of being in full zombie mode because I had to recover from the pain. Almost every attack starts differently for me, which is why they usually creep up on me. But the general symptoms are tightness in my neck, loss of vision in my left eye, which I usually only notice until I bump into things, which is a little disconcerting. The loss of feeling in my face, lips, arms, and legs, which makes it hard to move and speak. And the activation of what I call panic mode, which is basically that my fight or flight gets activated. And then during an attack, sounds loop in my head, which I can't control. They just go in there and don't go out. And then my vision gets warped to the point of nausea. The entire month basically felt like detours and negotiations with myself, trying to figure out if I'd have enough energy to start and actually finish a task, which I haven't quite mastered yet. So that didn't really help with my level of stress because I really dislike the feeling of an unfinished task. I did manage to get some work done despite all this, but in months like these where I flit in and out of migraine attacks, it's always hard for me to be creative. Even when I wasn't actively enduring an attack, my body felt so exhausted and it felt like there were certain parts of my mind that I can't access. I usually use this as a warning that an attack is coming. I can be talking to myself or thinking and not be able to think of something that I know I should know. For instance, I could have a face of a friend in my mind's eye and not be able to come up with their name. At that point, I know to take a step back and just focus on lighter tasks. And throughout this month, I did just that. I went walking, spent time in nature. I read a lot this month. I read about 900 pages and visited a ton of museums and galleries together with Aiko, because that way it feels like I'm still being creatively fueled, and then by the time my brain comes back online and I can use it again, I can peruse all of this information for future reference or other projects that I want to work on. I can't stop swinging, it's so comfortable. Because of both my personal and my client work, I come into contact with a lot of other creatives in their spaces, and the itch to collaborate with them and create work together has been growing stronger lately. This goes hand in hand with the fact that I haven't done one of my One Roll With interview series in over a year now, and I really want to start picking that back up again, or at least incorporate more of other people's practices in my videos. Because books, talking to other people, and traveling are really my three main sources of inspiration and finding new ways of looking at things. And I've also figured out that almost everything that I make is just to understand the world a little bit better. It either describes something or looks at how something is made. And ever since I figured that out, it's just been fun to point my gaze at things and figuring out how I want to dissect it. This came in this month. I know that I touched upon the creation of this in another video, but it's so crazy to me that my work gets printed in skateboard magazines now. I used to devour these as a kid, and now to be printed alongside photographers that sparked that passion in me in the first place feels indescribable. And not only that, these are my brain farts. I have these crazy ideas which are documented all over this channel, and then they make their way into my favorite skateboard magazine. 12-year-old me would be freaking out. It was such an intense rush of emotions to realize that I'm living my childhood dream. There's another thing that I worked on this month that I'm super excited for, but I have to go home to show you. Oh yeah, we got a new lamp. We got ourselves an upgrade. We were just taking a stroll in town and we passed by this store that has a lot of hay products, and they were doing a full clearance sale. I had never seen this version of this light before. It's huge, and we've been feeling that the light that we have, the oblong, is a little too small for our space. Our ceilings are very tall, and we just feel that it doesn't really bind the space together very well. And I think this might be it. I was as excited as a little kid when I saw this, and the person in the store said that it was the last one, and Aiko was on the phone and other people were looking at it. I was freaking out a little bit. Turned out it wasn't the last one, and we got the clean one. I'll shut up now. The head. I love that it tapers in on both sides. Let me just grab some water. 2 years ago now, I started my affordable print sale series, which are 5 of my favorite images, available for 7 days, and after that, they're never available again. Everyone gets a certificate and a numbered print for a reasonable price. And I'm really excited with the selection that I came up with for volume 3. Let me show you. And yes, I'll be printing all of the final prints as well, just to make sure that the quality is exactly how I want them to be. You ready? These are 5 of my favorite images that I made during my adventures of the last year. All printed as risographs on Munchen 170 grams cream paper. Oh, and they smell... Why does ink always smell so good? I love how this sale is becoming a way of marking what I get up to. And since they're only available for such a limited amount of time, it almost feels as if you're buying into that specific part of my practice, which I think is pretty cool. You're getting the preview right now. I usually never show them before they're released. They'll become available this Monday the 17th and will run until the 23rd of March, which is the day before my birthday. If you like what I do, then this will be the most direct way of supporting me. They'll be on show here in Antwerp during the entire week of the sale, but more news on that on Monday. If anyone wants to sit down with me and have a coffee when they're up, I did it last time and it was really fun. Just let me know in the comments and I might consider it. I actually don't need a lot of convincing. Just let me know if you're coming. Let's just talk creative things. The only thing that's left to do is get the classic shot. I need to frame these first. How sick is that? This is a two-tone risograph. This is black and this is red. This red looks like it's sticked on like the original collage. I'm so excited about how this turned out. I hope your month offered you all of the successes that you wished for, and I'll see you in the next one, which might be in person next week if we're having coffee, or in the next video. Okay, yeah.